Hey there. Today I'm going to show you how I hill and mound my potato plants. So on May 14th, we planted a whole bunch, about 100 I think, potato seeds in the garden right behind me. And then on May 23rd, I set up my soaker hose system for watering them on a timer system. And I have a video of how I set up my soaker hose in case you're interested in learning how to do something like that. I'll post that either in one of these slots around here, or definitely I'll put it in the description section for you. And now today's June 6th. And my potatoes are getting to be, some of them, not all of them, the potato plants are between about 6 and 8 inches tall. When they're about between 6 and 8 inches tall, you want to gently mound the dirt around them and hilling them. It's called hilling or mounding, and that helps the plant. That's where they grow their potatoes. You do that twice, usually with your potato seeds. So I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm no expert, but this is how I've been doing it for the past few years, and I usually have a really good yield of potatoes. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we do that now. So when I first planted the potato seeds, what I did was I pushed the dirt up on either side of the rows that I was going to be planting the potatoes. So then I planted the potato seeds about 2 inches down in this kind of like a trench, so that I would have dirt to hill and mound them with next to each potato plant. So I don't know if you can tell that this mound here, it goes high along each side of the potatoes. I also, when I set up a potato mound, so I do that, then I also set up extra dirt on this last row here. So I could have put another row of potatoes in right here, but I don't. I keep this as extra dirt in case I don't have enough next to them to mound. I think this year I'm definitely going to have to go into this dirt. So the first thing you want to do is make sure your potato plants are big enough to be hilled or mound, okay? And that is usually when the plant is between 6 and 8 inches. So let's take a look and see what we have here. So we have this guy and this guy. They're big enough to be hilled, but this one is not. So I'm going to just show you how I will hill and mound these two, okay, for how I would do it, but I'm going to be careful not to mound on that little guy that's just not ready yet. So I showed you how I left dirt on either side of the plant when I was planting the potato seeds. What I like to do is, as I'm mounding them, I like to add a mixture of that dirt that I set aside, as well as some cow manure and compost. I really like this one. The brand is Timberline Cow Manure and Compost. What I just do is I just fill up a small bucket with some compost so I can just add it in. I'll show you how I add it in right now. Okay, so now we have our bucket of manure, and we're going to start breaking up the dirt. I usually take a hoe and start just breaking up the dirt around here and pull it towards the plant. I don't cover the dirt with the hoe. I like to use this just to break up the dirt. I like to do it by hand. So I just kind of move the dirt closer to it so it'll be easier for me to mount. That's enough. So the next thing I do is I have to be mindful of where my soaker hose is, because I'd like to have my soaker hose lifted as it's for the watering. So what I do next is I take some of that manure and I just sprinkle it around the base of the plant. Sprinkle around the base of this plant. And then very gently, using my hands and my trowel here, I will mound the dirt around the potato plant while lifting my soaker hose. Can you see that? While I'm lifting the soaker hose, okay? So I kind of put some dirt there so the soaker hose has something to rest on, so it's a little elevated. Same with this one, since I'm doing 2 in a row here, like that. Good. And then I carefully cover my plants. Now, you can cover the plant so just the very tip of it is showing. Okay, but you want to be gentle. I like to be gentle. Some people will use a hoe completely to do the whole thing. I mound each plant individually with my hands. And you can always add more manure if you feel like your dirt needs more nutrients as you go around, as you go along. If we have a heavy rain and some of the dirt here like runs off or something, then I might the next day just kind of pull it back up. But you just want to cover the plant so that just the top of it's showing. Just like that. So I'll do the same thing for this guy. Some compost dirt, and then back up a little bit. I don't want to get anything on this little guy. And mound and hill around. So that's how I hill or mound my potatoes in my garden. This has been, has worked really well for me. So what I'll do is I'll come back. I have to hill a whole bunch more. I mean, I have a lot more I have to hill. Not every potato is ready yet. Remember, only the ones that are 6 to 8 inches tall are ready to be mounded today. And then what I'll do is I'll do another video when I'm ready to do that second mounding. So when these guys are, again, 6 to 8 inches tall and ready for their second hilling or second mounding. So in the meantime, all I'm going to do is water them with my soaker hose system. Since we're still in early, well, late spring, not quite early summer, even though it's really hot here, I'll probably only run the soaker hose once in the morning for about 15 minutes. And that seems to be good enough for these potatoes. They seem to be really growing happily with that setup with the water. So I'm going to leave it like that for now. If I need to adjust it during the summer as it gets hotter, I will. I'll do maybe an early evening and an early morning watering. And so that's that. So I'll get back to you when I'm doing my second mounding. I have a lot of potatoes I have to mound in the next few days because they're growing really, really, really well. So I really appreciate you watching this video. Again, I am a new channel, so a subscribe is really helpful for me. And I will put in the description section that soaker hose system setup video so that you can see how I do set up my soaker hose system throughout my entire garden. I do have other things that are growing in my garden, but right now I figured this series will just be helpful for those who are growing potatoes. So have a good day. Remember, please like, share, and subscribe. And please, any questions you have, put them in the comments section. I'd love to interact and help you with your gardens.